This lesson is working with code editing features. In this lesson, you'll learn about some of the features available in the code view of Dreamweaver CC. Specifically, you'll be looking at the quick tag editor, code hinting, as well as the coding toolbar. So to begin with, you will need to define the BB13 lessons folder as a site within Dreamweaver. Once that is done, you'll want to open the oldcode.html document. Now, of course, many people think of working in the design view when working in Dreamweaver. However, Dreamweaver actually includes some very powerful coding tools. And if you're used to working in other applications, primarily in the code view, you might be surprised at some of the things you can do in code view within Dreamweaver. So we're going to take a look at just a few of them, but let's start with this page in the design view. So one of the benefits of working in the design view, of course, is that you can visually see everything on your page. However, when you wanted to work with code, you would typically go to Split or Code View and work from there. Having said that, we're going to go back into Design View. Because in Design View, you can have the best of both worlds with something called the Quick Tag Editor. And let me show you how this works. So go ahead and select the Beats image. And then go down to the Tag Selector. And what I want you to do is go down and right-click on the image tag. And once you do that, you'll see a menu appear, and you want to choose the Quick Tag Editor. So what does the Quick Tag Editor do? It opens up this Edit Tag window and allows you to see the code that's actually behind the scenes. Not only that, but it will allow you to modify any of these properties and values, as well as add new ones. So, for example, here where it says Align Left, what I'd like to do is take away or strip out that Align Left. So I'm going to select it and delete it. And once I do that, you'll see the code hinting appear. Now there's two ways to work with code hinting. If you're familiar with working in code and you know the value you want to set, you can simply type it. You can also scroll through the list to find the value you want to set. However, it's a rather long list. For example, we could scroll down and find class and select that. If I double click on that, I can see that the only value for this document for the class attribute is float right. To choose this value, I can simply press return or enter or click the value. Now the class float right has been applied to that graphic, and what that means is the graphic is now floated to the right, allowing the content to wrap around it to the left. And that's kind of cool. So if you're familiar with hand coding and you know some of the attributes and values or anything else you might want to do in code view, you don't actually have to leave design view. Having said that, let's leave the design view and we'll go into code view by clicking code. There's a few things we want to look at here. One of those happens to deal with that code hinting that you just looked at. But with Dreamweaver CC, we have additional support for other attributes and values or tags. So we might want to do something like add the HTML5 figure element. The figure element is really designed to hold figures or images. A good place to do that would be here, wrapped around our Beats image. So what you'll do is place your cursor at the end of the line and press enter or return. And what we're going to do here is use the left bracket. So I'll type the left bracket. And when I do that, the code hinting feature activates and shows me all of the tags that Dreamweaver has access to. I can begin to type these. And for example, if I type FI, Dreamweaver begins to filter these items, showing only those items starting with FI. So I want figure, and I can press the down arrow to get to that, and then press enter. And then I'll add the right bracket myself. Next, I'll go down to line 21 and press enter. And here's where I'll add the closing figure tag. So press left bracket and the slash. And the code completion feature of Dreamweaver will close the figure tag for me. So now we've got this figure element that's wrapped around the image element. So this shows you a bit about code hinting, as well as the support for the new HTML5 elements within Dreamweaver. So having said that, let's take a look at this coding toolbar on the left-hand side here. We aren't going to look at all of them, but let's take a look at some of the most valuable ones here. So for example, you'll see this button up here, Collapse Full Tag. To see this work, let's go down to our first full paragraph of text and click anywhere within that paragraph. Next, we'll click the Collapse Full Tag button, and you'll see the entire paragraph collapses. So the reason you might want to do this is to collapse your content so that you can see the structure of your page. Sometimes that content gets in the way, and it's very hard to see the structure of your page. So you can click on any of these large sections and click the Collapse Full tag. There you can see the structure of your page much more easily. So to expand them, you can click the arrow next to the Collapse tag to expand them individually. You can also click the Expand All button to expand them all at once. So those are two of the most useful buttons on the toolbar. Now, we aren't going to go over them all in detail, but let's take a look at a few more. The Select Parent tag button allows you to choose the parent item in which another element is nested in. For example, clicking in the Image Source button and choosing Select Parent selects the figure element that wraps around our image. Balance Braces allows you to balance the syntax of your page. The Line Numbers button toggles line numbers on and off, which can be useful for editing and troubleshooting your page. The Highlight Invalid Code button will highlight any broken HTML on your page, while the Word Wrap button will toggle the word wrap settings. And if I collapse my Properties panel by double-clicking it, I can see a few more buttons at the bottom for formatting my code, such as indent and outdent code. So that's it for now. In this lesson, you learned about some of the features for working with code within Dreamweaver CC. This lesson has been working with code editing features.